There's a lot of astrology coming up this week, so I thought it'd be a good idea to just have a casual chat about it, give you some heads up, some dates to keep on your calendar, and some questions to ask yourself. We'll just keep it light. The first one is the North Node conjunct the Sun in Pisces, and that's interesting because there is a need for some newness in the Pisces area as the big guy Neptune moves out. So the North Node moving in there, it's a node of destiny. There's something that we need to kind of refill that big hole or whatever that we can see Neptune as leaving that space. And Neptune in Pisces, they seemed like a lot of people had a lot of dreams, big thoughts that this was going to be a utopian time because we hadn't had that for 165 years, Neptune and Pisces. And it seems like a logical combo, but it's almost as if there's just too few boundaries, let's say. There's just too much confusion, right, in this period of time, the last 14 years, and has had some good things. It's brought us some wild things, just like all this stuff that's technologically different, the AI, and I think that has a lot to do with Neptune in Neptune in Pisces. But that is happening on Monday, and the question you can ask yourself is, where's something new coming into your life? As the other thing leaves, there's going to be space. There's going to be clarity, I think, maybe for the first time in a while. 14 years, a big deal for that to be there. Speaking of Neptune, the second thing that's going to happen on our list is on March 19th. There is a Neptune Cazimi at 29 degrees Pisces. So if you watched my Saturn Cazimi video, or if you know anything about Cazimis, it's basically when the sun and whatever planet we're talking about are on the same degree. This indicates the life cycle of the planet. It's all symbolic. It's not real. I mean, I had somebody say that on my Saturn one, that it's rubbish, that Saturn doesn't die. I'm like, obviously, it's metaphorical, bro. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Just kidding. I really don't care. Neptune Cazimi is the same thing, but instead of Saturn, like we're doing discipline seeds and cathedral and bamboo, all that. Neptune is going to be about seeds you want to set for deep spirituality, something that's going to connect to your imagination, an area that's boundless that you want to increase, that you want to get closer to. The thing that's sort of fascinating about the 29th degree Cazimi is Neptune is leaving. It's the final one we're going to get for 160 something years. It's leaving and starting a new entire journey around the Zodiac. Aries 0 is the beginning. Having this Cazimi here right before it moves, it means it's taking something from Pisces into Aries with it, sort of like a little bag of gems, like the Goonies. You know, Mikey has all the little gems that he's put into his marble bag and bring it out and saves the day. It's kind of like that. Like, yeah, Neptune's going to bring some jewels, some beautiful things with it in the next year in its cycle. To its new home in Aries. So maybe we can take this as a little Mikey jewel moment ourselves. What do we want to bring from that dreamy, beautiful Neptunian, Piscean, what the good things were? Like, not focus on the weird things, but let's focus on what was good about this last 14 years and how we grew spiritually. So the question you can ask yourself on this day is, what emotional and creative patterns are coming to a natural close? Because it's going to open again with this North Node thing going through Pisces. Openings and closings. On March 20th, we have the March Equinox. This is when the day and the night are of equal length, and it's when the sun moves into Aries. What's important about that to know is that sun is exalted in Aries. That means it can do no wrong. It's its highest strength. It's really increases our confidence, our motivation, our clarity in the Aries portion, building it up because it's going to get some massive energy here. The Aries solar eclipse is going to amplify that on the 29th. It's just another indication of that opening in the Aries area. It's big. It's important to know. If you don't know it yet, find out what whole sign house you have Aries in, if you have planets there, and how they're going to be affected by this influx of energy. The question you can ask yourself on this day is, what part of your life feels ready for more direct action, ready to go for it? I think just for some reason the Oregon Trail popped into my mind. I think that was happening back in the 1860s, right? Weren't they doing Oregon Trail action? You're an Oregon Trail kid from the 80s. This dysentery, man. That's the only reason I know about it. Oregon Trail. The next thing on our list here to know about is on 23rd of March. It's a Venus Cazimi. Another Cazimi. This one's for Venus. And what's going on here? It will be in Aries at 2 degrees. Venus is retrograding. This is the midpoint of her retrograde cycle, where becomes when Venus becomes one with the sun, we don't see that jewel in the sky. If you noticed before it went retrograde in the western sky and at sunset, ooh, she was so big and bright and beautiful. And then metaphorically, she goes into the heart of the sun, she dies, and then she's going to come out on the other side as the evening star, and then she's going to go back in another Cazimi with the sun, and she'll come out on the other side. Anyway, works like that. Aries energy makes Venus a lot more direct and honest and independent and not so interested in compromise, not really focused on what somebody might want from her, but more what she wants. So that energy of those things, it just infuses us. You might start seeing where you've overcompromised your independence in relationships and creative work. You're looking, it's going back. It's already been here. So it's sort of a review of that. Venus retrograde just means that it might not be the best time to make huge decisions of your about your relationships or creative decisions, but it could be the catalyst. You know, it depends on you, it depends on your chart. It might be time to understand a little bit more about that. And the clarity is going to really come through when Venus goes direct in on April 12th. And then it's going to go over this section again. So you'll have a third time to think about it. The question you can ask yourself at this time is what's becoming clear and what do you really want in relationships, creative work, and your independent expression? The things you can do on your own. You don't need anybody to tell you how to do it or what to do. That's your Aries section. You can see this is a very sun heavy week. There's a lot of new openings, some closings with openings. And that's kind of fascinating. It's interesting. I caught myself saying interesting so many times, and it is interesting. It's just unsure. It's unclear. I'm not sure what it's going to bring, and it'll bring something different for everybody. I just know the energy is a lot. And I'm doing a lot of readings. So I'm talking to a lot of people about what's going on in their lives. And I'm watching, things out of nowhere. My son, he had a girlfriend, his first girlfriend, and they were very compatible. They actually were born one day apart. And I'm like, wow, look at that. They were like the same person, basically. And everything was going great. She even came over last night and everything seemed absolutely fine. Today they broke up. And so it's just another week coming up. There's nothing to really be worried about or scared about. It's just a lot of energy coming through. And if you need help processing it, kind of go back to those questions and journal a little bit. I know that's a cliche thing to do, but it helps. It helps when things feel unclear to get that out somehow. Okay. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. I like you just the way you are, and I will talk to you soon.